Hello and welcome back to this edition of Daily Actives brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I am Dustin. We're going to be looking at the top 5 most active stocks in Yahoo Finance today using the proprietary tool that I've been building that you can now use. So first, what you're going to see here is you got the trade range analyzer. You cannot see, but it's trade-range/authentication.web.app. It'll be in the layer. One of the important parts about NVIDIA, at least from my perspective, is that this thing has had a crazy move in terms of like the trend over the past few months. It's essentially gone sideways. Now, if we look at what we can see here, one of the things that I like to do, at least from a trade range perspective, I like to tell where I'm getting bullishness and bearishness. Now, the green here that you're looking at, that's bullishness is the way I've defined it. The red is going to be bearishness. Is it going to be perfect? No. Is it going to be fantastic? Yes. Is it always going to tell you what's going to happen? No. That's why it's called trading, because you're not quite sure what's going to happen. Now, if I go ahead and look a little bit closer, though, in the 1 month, we can see that we're starting to see a quick, essentially a removal of the bearishness that's been happening inside of NVIDIA. NVIDIA has essentially been bearish ever since the middle of February. It's been, and that was when it was at what, $140. Now it's even higher. It went bullish here at 117.37. I think that's actually very, very good. So the nice thing about the way that I built this is that not only can you see the chart, you can actually see the table. And for me, when I'm looking at the actual like closing prices, the most important thing is where is it relative to its range. So if you see with this red background with black lettering, that means it's 2 standard deviations above its mean. If you see with really red background with black lettering, that means it's 3 standard deviations above its mean. If you see white lettering with red back, or you see red lettering with white background, that means that it is above 3 standard deviations, so 4 standard deviations above its mean. We haven't seen that in quite a while here from what we're looking at in NVIDIA, and that's more of a testament to the type of volatility we've seen. Now, this hasn't necessarily updated for today's volume, but I imagine today's volume was actually kind of average. I'm going to go ahead and look. The reason why I think it was probably average is just because NVIDIA didn't do much, right? Yeah, and you can see it was 190 million shares traded. The average over the past 3 months has been 288 million shares traded. And that is to be expected based on the type of move. And the reason I say that is because you wouldn't expect to have a high volume day if you were going against the trend, right? Like you essentially were a break even perspective for NVIDIA today. You're only up 1 basis point. You do see your trade level start to move up. You still maintain that bullishness and you still see a higher high in terms of the range, which for me is the most bullish thing that I'd be looking for. What I'm really looking for is I'm looking for a trend change, usually from bearish to bullish. And then I'm looking at the range to start making higher highs or at least higher lows. That's over the trailing like 20 days or so, or 23 days. We're talking about what's higher high and higher low. If we're looking at it really from the perspective of what I think is just a really easy, simple way to pay attention for a trend change, what is the 3 month rolling return? Like today was the first day that you saw the 3 month rolling return of NVIDIA start to flip positive. Last time we had it at positive, if we keep going all the way back, when was this? July or January 24th of 2025 was the last time that your 3 month rolling return in NVIDIA was even positive. Now that's indicative, in my opinion, of when you're seeing trend change. And I don't consider it to be just like any day, right? You don't just need one day. For me, I need 2 confirming days. So if we're going to look here at this 3 months, I'm going to need 2 back-to-back green days on the rolling negative or on the rolling 3 month look back return. I believe that NVIDIA's got the go because again, if I'm looking, I've got at least one signal here in the bullishness. I've got another signal here in the higher high. Then I've got another signal here in terms of the 1 month has been flipped positive, which you can see back here. We're going to consider the 2 days. It was back on the 2nd of May. Now, the thing is that the 2nd of May was still bearish. But you saw that the 2nd of May was 2 standard deviations above its mean. You can see that we were starting to see a little bit of movement across the 1 month, the 15 day, the 5 day, and the 1 day. We still had some quite a bit of work to do on the 3 month, the 6 month, and the 1 year, which if you come to today, we still have quite a bit of damage or at least work to work off of. The one thing I will say, again, as the free app, is that this specific portion here in terms of 1 year, what you won't like if you're a big NVIDIA bull is the fact that the data source that I use, I need to find a better data source. I cannot solve for this. Well, I can just find a different data source with only $50 a month. The data source here, they're not really reflective of what the price was in terms of like looking backwards for when they did their, what is it, 10 to 1 split or 1 to 10 split. You know what I mean? So you don't really see the benefit of the data in this, but you will shortly because this was, what day was that? 6, 7. So we're coming up on when that will actually fall off. This is going to be a crazy move because it's clearly not actually down 85% for the year. But that's why I built a 9 month rolling return as well here, because I think you want to be able to look at the length of when it took to make a baby for some reason. But NVIDIA, if we're going to look at it, is actually showing some very bullish signs. I like to see at the top of the range starting to break out. The bottom of the range, you're starting to see a little bit of volatility there. The thing I want to call out if you end up using this, and again, right now this is free, this is early access for people who just watch my videos. If you see how I have the star there, I'm actually going to add it into my portfolio The nice thing about what I did in here as well, though, is it's going to load my portfolio of what I've actually had. You can see we got NVIDIA in here. The only difficulty, again, this is free, is I'm probably going to have to figure out a way to get my data to update in my cache, but that is a me problem, not a you problem for now. The nice part about what I've done as well is I've actually put in some AI analysis, so it's actually just going to review the stocks that are in your portfolio. So very, very easily, same as I'm going to do right here. I'm going to go ahead and look at what do we have. We have Lucid. We have Lucid as one of the other stocks. I'm going to type that in. I'm going to do my fetch data to take a little bit of a second because I'm doing a bunch of math for you in the background, especially to give you the bullishness, especially to give you the range, especially to be able to give you that rolling return. But if I want to add Lucid, because you saw that it was not currently in my portfolio, I don't think, actually, it might be in my portfolio. It's currently not in my portfolio. Let's just remove it from the portfolio real quick. Let's click this little wastebasket signal here. And then what we're going to do, Lucid should just go away. Maybe it's not doing it. Oh, there it goes. So Lucid finally went away. What I'm going to do is go back to the app. It doesn't save it. Maybe you'd want it to save inside of your cache and automatically. But you tell me what you think in the comments below, just if you start to use this. I'm going to go ahead, add this to my portfolio. You can see the star starts to go a little yellow. I mean, it's not that yellow, but it's yellow enough for you to be able to tell. It should get populated in the back end. And then as we're going through this, it should be able to show up. But I just wanted to let you know that this is available. But tell me what you think in the comments below as you start to use this. Are you long? Are you short? Do you like it? Do you love it? Is this even a good review, to be honest? And tell me what you think of the app in the comments below. I'll talk to you soon.